Hello everyone, my name is Hisham. I'm the owner of Clemson Aeronautics, where we make the riveting and dimpling systems. Today we're continuing with our horizontal stabilizer. Uh, if you had watched the last video, I had some issues with riveting as far as the length of the rivet, and I had ordered some extra rivets. That's a 3-5 and a 3-6, and I mentioned some had came in and some did not. Let me explain on that. Aircraft Spruce, a very reputable company. I ordered from the website quite a bit of rivets for the amount that I need. I only needed like 100 rivets or so, maybe 150 rivets, and I ordered like 1,200 of them, and only just a few came in, and I couldn't figure out what's going on, and it was Friday night, and I was really upset and everything, and I could not believe that Aircraft Spruce did that kind of mistake. But Saturday morning, sure enough, I called them up and I said, hey, you sent me bags that's almost empty. What happened there? And the lady said, well, I don't know. I wasn't in the warehouse doing that on that day. So, but this is going to the supervisor, and we'll figure out what happened. And sure enough, Monday they called me and they said, we apologize. It was a new guy, and he did not know how to work the scale and calibrate it and do so many things, and anyhow they apologized and they filled the order again completely. I mean, as if they have not shipped anything to me at all, and shipped it to me UPS ground at their expense, not mine. And because Atlanta is so close, it came in the next day. So as usual, people will do mistakes. The only issue is if they correct the mistakes or not, and in this instance Aircraft Spruce did well, and thank you very much. The area here where there is a spar cap, it required a 3-5 for me. It was just too thick. Then where those ribs meet, I needed something that is more than a 3-5, so I had to go 3-6. But 3-6 was just a little bit too long, and I was afraid I was gonna tip it. So I cut off just a little piece off of it. So I made my own 3-5.5 to go in here. And I haven't done this one yet. I haven't riveted, but I got the rivet for it. But the rest was on size, like what's in the book. It worked out beautiful. I've done the rest. Managed to ding my airplane fairly well because I was doing it alone. And guys, please, when you do yours, have two people. Two people work on that riveting, okay? Two people riveting. If you're not using a squeezer, two people will be a great idea, trust me. Oh, this is my mirror with a light on it. That came in handy quite a bit, guys. So before you start riveting and digging into that, a mirror with a light would be a good idea. You need very good lights. So that's another tip. One of the things that I had to do is I had to drill out a few rivets, and in doing so the hole got bigger in one of them, and it was kind of really bad, and I did not want to go to a size over on the drill size, and I don't have any oops rivets. So what I have done is kind of made my own oops rivet, and what you do, I'm gonna get a little closer to the camera so you guys can see. I take a regular rivet and just put it in the jaw, and this is kind of extreme because this was not set up, but I think you guys get the picture of what I was trying to do. I was trying to make a oops rivet, and I sure enough made it, but it was too thick. Okay, it came out to be too thick because I compressed it too much. So what you can do, you can take a rivet and squeeze it just ever so slightly. The whole shank will get bigger, and you get it to the size that you need it to be, then you can use it and squeeze it from the other side so it will have a good grip. So, and as I mentioned, this is a Vans trick. Also, I heard one of the Vans officials say something like, you can do something like that when you don't have oops rivets. Some of you might be surprised, why am I using a 4-inch no-hole yoke to rivet the perimeter of my horizontal stabilizer? Is because of this tip right here is narrow, right where we have the elevator hinges. There is rivets. These rivets that's so close here, with the rivet heads and so close on the bottom, you need something that's very narrow, and that is the perfect tool. That's why I said the 4-inch no-hole yoke. You will be surprised what you are using it for, and that's what I'm gonna use it for, is for the perimeter. Even here it will work out okay in the middle there. Folks, I want to direct your attention at something. If you actually are close and you're looking at this here, you will find that my rib and the skin is not really touching as close as I would like it to be. So I can, and I put the rivets in there so I can rivet it. And I have this no-hole yoke. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set it up where I'm actually pinching the two surfaces with my hand and then riveting it with the other hand, just with my finger. All I have to do is push it and hold my finger, just pulling at it but not be in the way, and here it is. So I am pulling with one finger and I'm pushing the squeezer and squeezing it at the same time to make sure the two surfaces is laying flat on top of each other. Try this again right here. I'm pulling it back, I'm pushing on the, I have to make sure your finger's out of the way though, or you can get pinched. There it Go. Third time. If you don't want to do that, you can get one of those heavy duty paper clips. I just don't happen to have one. If I have one, I will try and put it in one of those tapes. It works out real well when it just pinches the edges. With this rivet here, there is a space between the rib and the skin. So the only way I found out is got a little bit of a stick, and because I can't get my finger in there, so I had to push it with the stick from one side and push it with the rivet squeezer from the other side. And that worked. Okay, this side is the bottom side where there is no holes that has not been dimpled. So all of these are going to be riveted. I finished riveting all the rivets between the front spar and the skin and all that. You have to just be really careful of the size of the rivets. You could find in one place that that they call for a 3-4 rivet, and you really do need 3-4.5. I had to drill out a couple of them that did not work out. So you have to kind of get yourself used to this fact, especially if you had primed all your parts. You're gonna see the variation is huge. So take your time while you're riveting your horizontal stabilizer. 2 people. a small note, guys. Make sure when you're pulling the rivets, this portion is directly perpendicular on the rivet, or the head won't be flat. And make sure you use the correct size hole for the rivet also that you're pulling. One of the things that I like to get into the habit of, after I set up my squeezer to squeeze a certain rivet, and I know I'm gonna do a lot of them, I like to mark the flush part. Like here, I'm gonna put a brand new mark here on the flat to tell me this is where it is, just in case if the pin twists, it will let me know. This is one of those areas right next to the elevator hinges, and there is a rivet that's holding the hinge to the rear spar, and then there is a rivet that's supposed to hold the skin to the rear spar. It's a 3-4 rivet. It is very close. That is why I am using this 4-inch no-hole yoke, because the nose on it is thin, and it's as simple as this. I'm just gonna squeeze it. It's very easy. And I'm sure, looking back at the vertical stabilizer, this tool would have been very handy for that also. And folks, I'm gonna go ahead and close this video with a couple of important notes. The first thing is, please fill out that finder's fee respond form and send it to Vance. This is my builder's number and this is my name. When you do, and Vance send me $100 check like this, supposed to, you will get $100 credit that you can use in any of our products, whether it's the riveting and dimpling systems, or yokes, or the wheels, buffing wheels, and all that stuff. The second thing that I'm going to emphasize to watch for, the size of the rivets. If you had primed all the parts on your horizontal stabilizers, the dimensions could be different. You have to make a decision for yourself. Just be careful. Don't use a rivet too short, and don't use one that is too long. So if you like, there is one part where I have to resort to a 3-6 rivet, and that was way too long, and 3-5 was a little bit too short, so I got a 3-6 and I cut a part of it off and I used it and it worked out well. And that's over here in that center section. So again, please send the form so you can get the $100 credit, and watch out have two people rivet the horizontal stabilizer. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe and push like so other people can see us also. And we'll see you next time.